Don't call it a LeBarron. I've been here for years.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that where I was supposed to come in? All right, just give me a second. Think. How'd it go? It's really good, really relevant to today's car. Oh, okay, I got it. All right, here goes. Everybody!
1990 Chrysler TC by Maserati. Created deep during the Iacocca years, the TC's job was to distract the populace that Chrysler was Taco Bell menuing their entire fleet. Chrysler called this a Q platform, but when you click on Q platform in Wikipedia, it takes you to the K platform page. But this is not a LeBarron. Chrysler modified their ubiquitous K platform into the J Sport Coupe platform, which was used to create the LeBarron Coupe convertible. Now that platform was further modified to the Q platform for the TC. The interior is a stock LeBarron and a New Yorker skeleton, over which was glued pillows and pool noodle foam. Here's your luxury, dumbass. The seats are padded, and then they stitched a second pad on top. Luxury means soft. Is the engine a Maserati? Nope, it's a minivan engine. And it felt exactly like my dad's old 94 Caravan. There's a punch of torque from 1,000 to 2,000 RPM, and then from there on up, all you get is diner whining. This engine fights rising revolutions like when you visit a relative and you're sitting with them. The TV is barking out disaster news. And the very second you rise from your seat, oh, what, you're leaving me so soon? Damn it, Janet, no. My balls slid out of my underwear, and I'm standing up to peel them off my thigh via my pocket lining. I wouldn't have to do this if you would just turn the AC on. This engine is the Mitsubishi 6G72 3-liter V6, which is the same you get in the LeBarron. But this is not a LeBarron. It features the 4-speed A604 automatic transmission, same as the LeBarron, but this is not a LeBarron. It also sits on a modified version of the Chrysler K platform by way of the J platform in a new configuration called the Q platform, and again, it's not a LeBarron. This is a front-wheel drive car that gets 141 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, 171 foot-2,800 RPM, and a combined 18-15 city 22 highway, just like LeBarron, but it's not. I really mean this time, it's not a LeBarron. You see, Lee Iacocca became friends with Alessandro Di Tommaso while at Ford, and when Iacocca took over Chrysler in the 80s, the friendship continued to where Chrysler invested in the fledgling Maserati, with plans to co-produce a new sport coupe. Chrysler would get to look classy, and in the trade-off, Maserati would get an influx of income to keep afloat, in addition to a stronger foothold in the North American market. Never mind that Iacocca had just lobbied the government for a bailout and now wasn't really the best time to be taking risks, but this probably wouldn't have been viewed as a risk at the time. After all, this is a luxury grand touring convertible, a slice of the high life for under $40,000 in late 80s and early 90s money. With its handcrafted bodies and smooth lines, Iacocca boasted that the TC would be the prettiest Italian to make its way to the States since his mother emigrated, which is the automotive executive equivalent of posting your mom's high school yearbook photo on Old School Cool. We get it. Your mom used to be hot. I'm sure she's thrilled that her son is going full Oedipus on Reddit. Chrysler TC by Maserati. Brought to you by not signaling because, they know where I'm going. Chrysler TC by Maserati. For the man to whom the words eating out always means going to a restaurant. Well, there was a 2-year delay getting this into production, which was a problem in itself since it was intended to be the forerunner to the Chrysler LeBarron. It was meant to come out before the K-base LeBarron. However, delays pushed the TC back behind the rollout of the LeBarron, so now the TC looked like a knockoff. By late 1988, Chrysler and Maserati just wanted to get this damn thing to the market already, so they increased production in Milan, slapping regular Chrysler and Mitsubishi engines into these things, and then selling them through a select number of Chrysler Plymouth dealerships in the United States. And there is a distinct visual flair to the TC, as the body panels were made by hand, avoiding the depersonalizing sense of automation that results in bland-looking cars that give way to even blander on-the-road experiences. The problem is that it was late to that aesthetic. The LeBarron got there first, which is why you end up having to set up a sandwich board at every car show you take your TC to that says, in all capital letters, "This is not a LeBarron." And yet you're still going to get retirees with Wrangler jeans that strain under the weight of an ass that's been parked on a couch through 10 years of Bonanza reruns saying, I think you're really wrong there, bud. Right there. That's a LeBarron. All the while golden oldies play in the background. Big Girls Don't Cry is a song about a guy dumping a girl and then shaming her into shutting up. I didn't push this TC to redline because it's hardly driven, because the owner has 3 of them. They're gonna be worth something someday. Yes, someday. But remember the 98th rule of acquisition. Every man has his price, which we can interpret to be every car has its price, which really means every car has its price independent of its owner. Just because you say a TC by Maserati is worth $20,000 doesn't mean that someone will pay that. Just because it says TC on the back doesn't mean it's not a LeBarron. And just because you painted maple leafs on the hubcaps and called it a Frontenac doesn't mean it's not a Falcon. I'm happy when I see TCs, because they were such trash-class disasters with no handling or back seats. You can't help but laugh at the absurdity. Driving this is entertaining, like watching a bad 90s action movie, like Executive Decision, or On Deadly Ground, or Out for Justice, or Marked for Death. But there's always a Seagal fanboy taking The Glimmer Man really seriously, weirding out your living room. Jeremy isn't invited back to bad movie night. In theory, this is what happens when you have a good idea, but take too long to get it to market, so that by the time it comes out, it's old hat. It's been done before, and whatever value the idea had can only depreciate with time. You get an Italian-made body that looks just like a LeBarron, but where's the Italian performance? It's basically just Chrysler putting on a fake mustache and making this hand gesture. And yet, as the saying goes, if you want a man to change his values, make what he values unprofitable. In order for Chrysler to really change, to get away from the desperation to crack the luxury market and instead embrace the money-making minivan, the TC had to fail. Because who's going to buy a TC at $35,000 in 1990 when you could get a LeBarron for half that? $35,000 in 1990 is around $67,243 today. That's wall-to-wall madness for a late-to-the-party LeBarron. Sure, it looks like it does things, but what does it really do? It's a gas station dick pill supplement. Whatever value it actually has is entirely self-manifested. This is worth a fraction of what you think it is in 2019. The Chrysler TC is for the man who still believes in the power of a $10 bill discreetly slid across the Formica check-in counter to get things done on his time. Yeah, you take care of me, and I'll take care of you! Followed by 3 winks. Chrysler TC by Maserati. The official car of a man trying to have a conversation with a neighbor while he's mowing his lawn. TC by Maserati. The official car of trying to talk to me while I have my headphones in. Chrysler TC by Maserati. For the guy whose favorite Mexican is a La Bamba guy. Chrysler TC by Maserati. A car for you if you insist Gary Glitter wrote "We Will Rock You." If you park your car on the sidewalk because I'm just gonna be here a minute, here's your car. TC by Maserati. The official car of giving your grandson a birthday gift of Laffy Taffy, C-cell batteries, and a paper carton full of BBs. Oh, by the way, this steering wheel is not shaking. It's the steering column that's shaking. The wooden gear selector cover is coming apart, which adheres to the rule of acquisition number 82. The flimsier the product, the higher the price. TC. The official car of not tipping unless the hibachi cook makes the onion volcano. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not just the body panels that are handcrafted by Maserati, it's also the windows. And there's a Maserati assembly badge on the inside of the glove box lid so you can show people who doubt you as you drive them. That's a Mopar head unit.
There's a CD in here, and I don't know what it is. We didn't press play and how the volume could turn down. Just gotta see what's in here. It is the very best of the Eagles.
And there's a Maserati badge inside the car next to the gear shifter. I guess just to fill this negative space. Oh yeah, and I know. It's a Maserati logo inside the Chrysler Pentastar. Not a LeBarron. And you have another one of those logos here on the manual, which is all shiny and weird. And on the gold-looking instructions for the removable top. So I salute you. All of you owners of these worthless cars filling up your barns like plastic bags within bags filling up under your sinks. Because when the end times come, you will be crowned kings with scepters made of saved grocery twist ties and capes made of bank statements, and you'll sit on thrones made of bags within bags within bags, and surrounded by all your Chrysler TC by Maseratis. Long live Allen! May you forever pee no-handed in minor league stadium bathrooms from sea to shining sea.
Here's a Chrysler Maserati. Let's be friends, but also not be older men who hit on women with whatever counts as a win. The house